Hey, Zach.
Hey, Alex.
And welcome, everybody, to the Pokemon Power Podcast.
I think I did really good that time.
Recorded through Zoom in case people can't tell by the delay.
I think it was perfect.
Maybe Zach will, in post, sync up our voices. We'll see. Welcome to the very first episode of the Pokemon Power Podcast. Zach, do you want to tell the people at home what this podcast is?
Well, number one, it's fun. I mean, I want to put that out there. That it's just a fun, entertaining, family-friendly content. But also what we're about, if you can't tell from our little beautiful song, is Pokemon and ranking them in their power rankings, scientifically based, provable, but also mostly just us talking about some fun things about the Pokemon. Yeah,
and I think you did a good job explaining that there. One thing I'd like to highlight between the two of us, Zach, you are a little bit more of a Pokemon amateur, while I'm a Pokemon expert, or as they like to be called in the game, the Poke Freaks. I'm a Poke Freak, PF to the day I die. That's my plan, at least. We'll see. I mean, Pokemon could go, some weird directions, and I'm not going to follow them. Maybe they'll, become a part of the alt-right. I don't know. No, and then we'll close the podcast off.
It's officially on your headstone. You are a Poke
Okay,
Freak.
Perfect. Welcome to the very first episode. And one way we'd like to start with every episode of the Pokemon Power Podcast is with a little icebreaker. Zach, I wanted to ask you, I mean, we're going to timestamp ourselves, no matter what. So I'd like to ask you a little bit, how are you spending your COVID-19 summer? We're in the year of 2020, the year where everyone likes to talk about how bad things are going, but it's the year of COVID-19. How are you spending your summer, buddy?
Well, I do live in California, which is pretty much the most locked down of all the places. And but I think I'd like to just turn it positive. How am I using this time to positively? As you can tell behind me, my garage is super clean. So that's been happening. Built a tree fort for my son with my father-in-law. It's mainly just a giant deck. He actually has a nicer house than us now.
That's fine.
So yeah, it's stuff like that. Trying to keep busy, trying to stay at work.
Zach, I want to see a picture of this tree fort. We're going to post it on the Instagram. I'm very interested in this. I'm a big tree fort fan. My COVID-19 summer, I've been spending my time working. I'm an essential worker because I'm poor. I think that's kind of the way that we're treated. They call us heroes because they expect us to die. I don't know how we got so political so quickly. It was definitely my fault. It's definitely my fault. It is a sign of the times for sure. But, this isn't a podcast where we talk about COVID-19.
It turns out it's a podcast about Pokemon.
This is a podcast about Pokemon. And Zach, each and every episode, we're going to talk about one specific Pokemon. We're going to talk about one today. Do you know what that Pokemon is, Zach?
I absolutely do not. It's a surprise to me and the listener every
episode.
Zach
has no idea. And if you're a listener and you haven't looked at the title, which I would advise actually avoiding, if you can avoid reading the title, seeing exactly what the Pokemon is, you get to play a little fun game with Zach right now. A game we like to call Gotta Elucidate Them All. This is a game where Zach Boyer, the Pokemon amateur, as we've deigned him. I don't know if that's correct. I'm not lowering myself to call you Pokemon amateur. I'm just it's just a name. But
I'm certainly not a professional because I get no money from Pokemon so far. So. Amateur.
We'll see. We want Pokemon to pay us. Pokemon, if you're listening, send us money. We're shills. But Zach is going to play Gotta Elucidate Them All. This is a game where I'm going to show Zach a picture of the Pokemon we're going to talk about today. And he is going to try and describe that Pokemon without using the Pokemon's name, without using other Pokemon's name, just talking about its features. And he's got 30 seconds to do so. Zach, do you feel ready? Do you feel ready to elucidate, as we would like to say?
Here we go. I feel like I got to be able to be ready to know my 30 seconds. So here we go.
You're setting your own timer?
Yeah, I want to be able to know. I don't trust your timers.
Does my timer seem to go a little fast?
It seems a little too fast, I'll be honest.
You got 5 seconds left, buddy.
Have you seen the Pokemon
yet? All right, I have my timer set. You have your timer set. I'm going to bring the Pokemon on the screen. Let's bring that forward. This is our Pokemon for the day. This was picked randomly, and you're going.
Here I go. All right. So what I'm looking at right now is almost an adorable hamster-like rodent type thing. Perhaps something you'd see in the African outback. This young little tiny baby Pokemon, it seems like, has a skull on its head, a little scary, also carrying a bone. So immediately you're thinking this thing
10
is
seconds.
cute, but also this thing could kill me. But adorable, but also scary at the same time.
Oh, perfect. Hey, you ended with 3 seconds left. Zach,
wanna
you're a
end it.
pro.
Yeah.
What Pokemon are we looking at today, buddy?
Oh, we're looking at the most adorable Cubone.
I'm glad you think he's so cute, because I think there's a couple things that are a little awry, a little off about Cubone.
For sure.
Zach, do you know what Pokemon categories are?
Like is like a type?
Not types.
Okay.
There's a thing called a category. Different Pokemon, different categories. It basically just describes what the Pokemon is. For instance, Pikachu is the mouse Pokemon.
True.
Bulbasaur is a seed Pokemon. What do you think Cubone is?
Okay, we're just gonna go past that. Bulbasaur is a seed Pokemon.
He's a seed Pokemon.
Because I mean, I
Please
would
go
feel like
past
that's a dinosaur Pokemon, but it's fine. We'll continue. I think that he is a kangaroo Pokemon.
You know what? I do kind of like that he does kind of. A lot of people compare Cubone to Kangaskhan, Khan, which does have a pouch.
Yep.
But Cubone is the lonely Pokemon.
Oh yeah, like you have mice, you have seeds,
You have seeds and you have loneliness.
Makes perfect sense.
It's a lonely Pokemon, and I think you know a little bit of the facts about it, but I'm going to share. This is actually from the Smash Trophy for Cubone, and I'm going to use this as the description. It kind of combines all the different Pokédex entries that you see. I'm going to read this to you, Zach. Just give me your real response as I read this. I'll take some time.
Perfect.
This is the Smash Trophy, a combination of the Pokédexes. It says it wears its mother's skull as a helmet.
Yeah, no, I
this
knew that part. I mean, that's gonna make you lonely at the very beginning, I guess, when you wear the skull of your dead mom. But we can continue.
I have some issues with that, but we can move forward for now. For this reason, no one has ever seen its face. It sometimes sees its departed mother's face in the full moon, which causes it to grow sad and cry. The stains on the stains on the skull are tracks of its tears. When it cries, the skull shakes and emits a mournful sound.
The skull makes the sound, or is the Cubone making the sound?
The Cubone makes a sound by crying. I assume there's maybe some heavy weeping.
Yeah.
But it says that the skull shakes and emits a mournful sound.
So Cubone is the lonely Pokemon. It's really like the Pokemon in most need of severe counseling.
Of therapy, yes.
Just as an immediate therapy, as it's kind of like a serial killer vibe almost. I mean, wearing your mom's skull for sure.
Some very what's the guy I'm thinking of? I want to say Albert Bates, but that can't be
Bates
right.
Motel thing. I don't know.
What's
Bates
that
Motel.
guy's name? Albert? That's not right.
No.
I don't know what it is, but I know
Bates.
Albert is wrong.
Albert Bates. No.
All right, we'll come back to it. If you think of it,
Albert. So do a good job
if you
on
think,
that.
just shout it. If we're in the middle of our rankings, please shout whatever that Bates fellow's name is.
Absolutely.
I have an issue with the fact that it wears its mother's skull as a helmet. Because two things. One, when it evolves into Marowak, still wearing a skull, the skull's a different shape. So what's going on
Do we
there?
have pictures of this? Are you able to show this to me in my mind? Because in my mind, I just picture it getting smaller. But it doesn't. It changes shape?
I believe it changes its shape. I'm going to pull up a picture of a Marowak and show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it changes its shape. It looks all funky now. It has like ears.
No.
All right. Here, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
This is good for a podcast. Me just going, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, it's sound effects. It's like the classic radio
The podcast
sound.
where you get to listen to me say, hold on.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, well, yeah.
It doesn't have the prominent nostrils anymore. Its eye holes are now like angry eyes. The little protrusions, which looked to be horns earlier, now appear to be ears.
Yep.
It's just a lot of stuff that does not. I guess that at some point they put the skull of the mother on their body, and then it changes into something else. Here's the other thing: you can breed these Pokemon in the game. When you breed them, your Pokemon, your Marowak doesn't die when you give birth to a Cubone. And you know what's the mother for some of these Cubones? A Ditto. Why aren't they just wearing a? That's what you do in the breeding in the daycare center. The Ditto's the mom, Marowak's the dad. Why isn't that
I'm
Meryl?
not a licensed Pokemon therapist, but it just seems like there's a lot to deal with here.
A lot of stuff is haunting this Cubone. But I don't want to get too cut off on that. Zach, I'm going to ask you. Yeah. I'm going to name some moves from the trading card game. I want you to tell me real or fake. I got 4 of these. Okay, ready?
Oh gosh.
Tell me if this is a real move that Cubone has.
Okay.
Number 1, Snivel.
Oof, that sounds like something like one of those like mouse Pokemon that's like a dark Pokemon that I'd never like. They have Snivel, but it's a dark move, and I feel like Cubone has a dark move sometime. I'm gonna say real move.
Okay. I'll give you all the answers at the end.
Okay, I see that's a percentage at the end if I fail. Yeah.
Lonely Bone.
Lonely Bone, but I mean it carries a bone, so yeah, real.
Okay. Teary Eyes.
Lonely, real.
Look for Friends.
Oh, it makes sense. Like if you're gathering, like, someone to help you, but also it's so low. I'm just saying real because it's too funny.
You got it. I'm sorry. I wanted to play you. You caught on to what my game was. They're all real. They're all real.
I wanted them to all be real because they're the worst thing. I mean, that call for friends though is like
look for friends.
Plead for friends.
I mean, it is surprisingly dark how dark this Pokemon goes. The dead mother, the very apparent depression, the very apparent need to see a therapist.
Yeah, antisocial behavior. I mean, really a lot of markers for a serial killer. I mean,
definitely. A real Albert Bates here.
Real Albert Bates. Old Al Bates.
Do you, let me ask you this, Zach. How old were you when you played Pokemon? Do you remember? I believe it was 90. Oh my gosh. I really hope I don't get these wrong because I'm saying I'm the Pokemon expert here. I believe that was 96 in America that came out. Yeah. Which would have put me at 5 or 6, depending on the exact date.
Yeah, I'm going to say I played it like the first time I really remember is going to be like 98. I'm going to say like 8 years old.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I remember having, because I had the OG giant Game Boy that was like super thick and see-through. And then you had like magnifying glasses on the front and you had the flip over light and stuff. And then the first time I was really into Pokemon was the Game Boy Color. So I don't know when it really was, but I was definitely for sure where I think where you're going with this question is how old are you when you are playing as a Pokemon with a dead mother that has depression?
Yeah.
I did not catch
cool
that.
Were you with that?
I did not catch. I just thought Cubone is funny. I don't think I even realized that this is like a little serial killer I'm carrying around with me in my Pokeball.
Yeah. Here I got the exact dates here. I'm getting my my Japanese and my American dates confused. Japanese date for the release is February 27th, 1996. North American was 98. So we had a little bit of time there. But still, I was 8. I don't know if I was ready for that. It may be so sticky in my mind. It may be so memorable to me because I wasn't prepared. I was not okay.
I'm certain that it probably scarred both of us, and it's actually kind of locked away. Like I don't want to think about that. You read those words, and you're like, maybe I don't understand those words.
You came in talking about how cute this was, despite the fact that it has a skull on its head.
I know. I mean, because that's what I think of when I was playing the game. There's this cute little rodent Pokemon. Like it's a Pikachu is cute. All the rest of the Pokemon, generally are cute until they evolve into scary monsters. But definitely in Series 1.
You think a skull is cute? I wonder if you're an Albert Bates.
Oh gosh, now we're really getting into it. Don't talk about my problems. my mother problems. Okay, let's not get into it.
Hey, look, man, we talked about COVID-19. I think it's time that we talk about your parents.
Actually, the whole Pokemon podcast is just a cover of us doing therapy
for me to help you.
No, I mean both of us. I mean, you've got problems.
I got problems. Yeah, I got problems. Speaking of problems, and speaking of where those may have came from, playing these at a young age, I have one more game for us.
Great.
This is one I'm pretty happy with. This one's called Too Creepy for Pokemon. And I'm going to name some Pokemon facts. I want you to tell me if this is true or false. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In Omega Ruby / Alpha Sapphire, a ghost of a little girl will show up during your battle with Phoebe in the Elite Four. Is that true or false, Zach?
Oh, gosh. A ghost of a little girl?
Ghost of a little girl.
I mean, I feel like this is kind of like the horror episode. We were opening up with the horror episodes. I'm going to say true.
That is true. Good job. That's a point for Zach.
Okay.
Number 2. There is a Poke fan Pokefan, if you're unfamiliar, Zach, that's the sprite with a dad and son in Ruby Sapphire, first shown in Oldale Town, who appears again in Evergrande City without his child and no dialogue. True or false?
Is this another game where they're all going to be true? Because that's also really scary sounding. I'm going to say it's false.
That is false. I made that one up. I was hoping to get you with that one, but good job. You sniffed that out.
Yeah.
A little too scary.
Yeah.
A Hex Maniac opponent appears in XY without any animation or context to say, no, you're not the one. Is that true or false?
Of what I remember of X and Y, true.
That is true. Good job. You're nailing these. 3 for 3, buddy.
Super good at guessing.
In Diamond Pearl, there's a side quest where you discover a Ditto is posing as a child to help a mother and father cope with the loss of their son. True or false?
It's very serious, dark, but I feel like that could be true. I think that's true.
I'm so sorry. I got you with that one, Zach. That one's false. You know what? I was very proud of that. I was like, I could see this being in that game. I wrote that up. I was like, I could see a Ditto doing
something. You know what? It's an episode in a show, I think.
Sure, I could see that in the anime.
Yeah, I did.
All right, here you go. Here's our final 3.
Okay.
Drifloon has a Pokedex entry about kidnapping children.
Which one is that?
Drifloon looks like a big balloon.
Okay, that's what I was thinking in my mind with the way the name sounds. Kidnapping children.
You think yes or no?
I want to not be true, but I feel like it's something like it floats around and sometimes kids grab it and float away. Pokemon. So I'm gonna say true.
That's true. Good job. You're 4 for 5. We got the 2 more. Hypno has a Pokedex entry about kidnapping children.
Oh man, I do not like Hypno already, but I mean, again, it's like Hypno sometimes it confuses these kids and they wander off. I'm gonna say true.
That's true. Good job, Zach.
Oh,
and then finally, Clefable has a Pokedex entry about kidnapping children.
All these, yeah, I mean, that's got to be true too. I mean, she's this big.
I got you on the last one there, buddy. That's false. Respectively, those Pokedex entries for Drifloon, that was in Black and White 2, and for Hypno, that was in Fire Red. Zach, you did great on those games, though. You completely nailed the trading card game one and the Creepy for Pokemon, and when you went 5 for 7, that's very good. Good job, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we've entered one of the final parts of the podcast, one of the final segments, what's called the Pokeball Decision. The Pokeball Decision is a segment where we are going to decide what kind of Pokeball we would use to catch a Cubone. And we can use either, of course, a Pokeball, a Great Ball, an Ultra Ball. And you can once a season would be for each of the different generations for each region. You can choose a Master Ball. Now, this doesn't have to do with its rarity. This doesn't have to do with its this doesn't have to do with you like saying, oh, there's only one of these. There's only one Articuno. I got to use my Master Ball here. No, this just comes down to how badly would you want a Cubone? How badly would you want that? Do you want a Pokeball? Do you want a Great Ball? Do you want an Ultra Ball? Or do you want to toss that Master Ball? And by the way, Zach, I have one little thing I wanted to toss in here. I don't think you're going to use it today because you already said it's cute. I think once a season, we should also, you tell me if you like this or not. I don't mind doing this on the podcast.
Yeah.
I want to do once a season. We can do Flea. If you hate that Pokemon, you can just run. You can just walk away.
No, we should. That should be one of the options every time.
You're always fleeing.
I mean, yeah, I'm begrudgingly throwing a Pokeball at a lot of Pokemon. So
sure.
I mean. Yeah, no. Okay, for our most hated. So really it's like Master Ball is like the one where like I have to have this one. And then Flea is like I have to not have this Pokemon.
Yes. All
right, I agree. That one. Okay.
What do you think? Where do you want to go with the for the Cubone?
Cubone? Okay. In my childhood mind, I probably would have used, maybe a Great Ball because I thought it was so cute. But after really thinking about it as an adult, going over it, I'm throwing Pokeball because I'm not going to flee. Although maybe I should, honestly. If it's the evolution, if it's Marowak, I probably would because like that's like grown up. The problems have gone extreme. It really is a serial killer at this point. But I'm going Pokeball. I still would want it. But at the same time, of all the things that I know, I'm really thinking like, is shoving you inside of a tiny Pokeball for your existence really the best thing for you?
Sure.
I don't know. For my care of Cubone.
I'm an empath.
What number on what number on whatever it is?
I know what you're describing, but I don't know if the listener does. What number is my Albert Bates? I don't know.
What's the letters?
Is this whole
are?
show just going to be us forgetting what phrases are?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. ENFJ. That's what you are.
Yes, I think I am an ENFJ.
We're the same person. That's actually my letters. It's the only thing I remember about that.
Ooh. Anyway, that's Myers-Briggs, not what we were referring to with numbers. Can't remember what the numbers are.
Enneagram. Remembered it.
Ooh. Now let's see if we can get whoever Albert Bates is.
Never. So what Pokeball are you going to choose?
I'm going to do a Great Ball because I do feel for it. I want to take care of it. You know, I want to. Years ago, I was walking outside my house and I saw a little baby bunny. Just sitting on the ground. It was a cold winter day in Chicago. That's where I live. And I picked the bunny up and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to this bunny? I thought it was like freezing to death. I was actually going to, I was like, I've got to do some lawn care and take this thing out. It was still alive. So I brought it in my house and I put it in a box and I was like, all right, let's see what I can do. And I tried to take care of it. And I mean, it ate a little bit, but at the end of the night, I was like, okay, I think I got to bring this back outside, see if its mother will find it. Yeah. And, the mom found it. The baby bunny was okay and hopped away. And I think that would be my thing with this. Yeah, just this is a good vibes. You were saying good vibes podcast. I think same thing with this Cubone. I would like to just take care of it. I'd like to, show it some love. And I'm willing to toss a great ball to get that opportunity. I really want to care for this Cubone. I've had some hard times too. I love you, Cubone. Here on the Pokemon Power podcast. I love you.
Wow. All right.
Our
answers are so different. You really wanted to take care of the Cubone like you did this beautiful baby bunny. I said, I want to stay away from it. I'm afraid of you.
You think it's inevitable that this thing's going to kill people? I don't think so. I believe.
I'm pretty convinced that the Cubone killed its mother. And now any figure of authority in its life, it's going to come after. But you empath for sure. I mean, you
I
used
am
to care
an empath.
Beautiful.
All right. So normally this would be the part of the podcast where we do the Pokemon Power Ranking, what we've named the podcast after. But this is our very first episode. So, Zach, even though you gave that a Pokeball, even though I give it a great ball, not the best ranking, but a good ranking, we're going to say Cubone, out of all the Pokemon we've ranked at this point, you're number one, baby. Number one. We love you, Cubone. You did it. You're number one. You're staying number one, at least for this week, maybe next week as well. Zach, how do you feel about that? Cubone at number one.
You know,
happy for Cubone?
Like I said, from my childhood, definitely a number one for right now.
Okay, great.
It's cute. It's fun. It throws a little bone, probably from its dead mother, at people. Yeah.
They don't talk too much about that bone that it's holding. That bone has to be from the mom, too.
I mean, logically.
What do you think he did with the rest of the body, Zach?
It's somewhere in his place in his shrine.
What if the Cubone had a coat?
It's that one. Oh, gosh. But let's think about that we save bunnies. That's what we're ending on. We save bunnies. Yes. Cubone, power ranking number one.
Number one. Wonderful job, Cubone. As always, the Pokemon Power Podcast would like to thank bulbapedia.bulbagarden.net, sarahb.org, and Dr. Lava YT. If you'd like to learn more about Pokemon, those would be great resources for you. If you'd like to ask us a question about next week's Pokemon, submit a game, or just keep up with us on the podcast, you can find us on most social media platforms at Pokepowpod. Pokepowpod. Zach, you want to say anything to our listeners or the people who are viewing us on YouTube? Do you want to say anything to them on our way out today?
Well, my battery is exhausted.
Your battery exhausted?
That's really what I wanted to say to them is I'm sorry.
For the listeners, Zach's video feed has completely cut. He's all gone now.
Just a black screen. But on that note, self-care, you guys. Take care of yourself. Don't be exhausted like the battery on my camera. And maybe self-care like Cubone might need to do to deal with its loneliness. and especially in the time of COVID, if it's still COVID when you're listening to this. What a powerful message we're hearing from Cubone.
If your parents have died, do not wear their skull on their head. That's my only note I'd like to end with. This is a good feeling podcast. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We don't know how to end the podcast yet. Have a Poketastic day.
Pokemon.